Right, this is version 2. Trying again. Thinks. Have to think more about this shape here, which is not quite right. It needs a kind of warmer but darker green. See if this one would do. Not sure. And then warm it up a bit with something underneath it, which is the same value, of course. That's important. And I think it'll be this. Just a few marks. Butterfly strokes, just so that it shows on top, but it's not. Now there's a lot of nonsense going on down there, but we'll put that in later. That doesn't need to bother us now. But there's a little bit of land here, and I need a slightly lighter value for that one. So that's about there, I reckon. Something like that. Stand back again. Got to do a lot of standing back. And then there'll be a reflection of that in the water down here. Sort of. Now there's a smashing log that's going up like that, and we want to get that in, and we want to get its reflection in as well. The reflection goes right to the end of the log. And then we'll use a bit more of this colour just to glaze over there. Warm these bits up a bit. Now don't get too worried because the edges of the trees aren't spot on and accurate. That doesn't matter, because we're going, in fact we'll come to that now. We'll start doing that now, because I know that could be a bit off-putting if you're not quite sure of the next step. So what we need to do is to get a sky colour, and I think I'm going to use this one. This is a Terry Ludwig. Yeah, and I'm going to start eating in at the edges of my tree, like that. Not too much, just a wee bit, and then down here, I'm going to put in a sky hole. See there, some sky holes, and those are quite important to do, but not to overplay them. Something that I have a habit of doing is I get carried away with the colour of the sky holes against the colour of the green, rather, and I think, oh, that's really nice. I'll do some more of that. And before I know where I am, I've got far too many sky holes and hardly any tree left. So you do have to worry about that a little bit. Now there's a bit more sky hole down here. I'll just put that in, and a bit more over here. Just odd bits, and then always keep standing back to look at what you've done, and just to be honest with yourself. Is that right? Is that what I should have done? And if it's not, for example, let's see where I need more sky holes. Supposing I put some sky holes down there. I mean, those are just plain wrong. They don't look right at all. But don't panic. I get some more of the green. Is that the green? No, well, I get the right green. That's quite important. And I think it was this one. Well, this is the one I'm going to use anyway. And I just simply go over my sky holes and abracadabra, it's as if they were never there. So that's something that you can do. But do make sure that you're using the right colour green. As you can see, I haven't now, so I'm having to sort of scrub over this to make it work a little bit better. But that should do it. Okay, so the next thing that I want to look at is this bit here. This is quite important, and it's a rather nice shape. I'm just getting into the camera shot here. It's a rather nice shape. And I'm putting in extra colours. That's too much of me. I need to darken this bit up as well. You don't need to worry too much about detail, because it all it works when you stand back a bit. You know, you can see how it is, bits of trees and so on. But this bit is still quite interesting. We'll have this is too dark, this bit, so I'm going to choose a lighter brown. Which one do we think? This one might work. That's too light, so it's got to be in between those two. And I'm going to try this one. I think that one might be it. And I'm just going to do some tree trunks. Now, when I do these tree trunk shapes, I don't do that. I almost roll my pastel and let it miss bits. Unless, the only time you don't have to do that is if you're lucky enough to have the right value of straight edged pastel, in which case you can just do that. So now I need to put some light on these, and I'm just going to use those just to create some light on top of the logs. And here too there's something, I don't know what that is, and it doesn't matter what it is, but some lights need to go in there, and a few trunks up here. And I'm going to put some other colours in. I've got a lovely dark rich red, and I'm going to put some marks in here. Again, they don't have to mean anything at all. They're just marks. I'll soften them up a bit, and I'll put one there too. Again, that's me in danger of putting in too much, but it's just a question of making it look believable. And then another colour. I'm going to use that because it won't be seen. Nobody's going to look at it and go, oh, that's violet. Well, hope not. So hopefully you can see it's starting to take shape now, and you can see what's happening with the leaves and the edges of the sky and the tree. So we've done all that. Let's continue on round here, because this is an interesting bit. I'm going to fudge it a bit by running the pastel all over everything, and when you do that it kind of disappears completely. And I'll do it a bit there too. Oop, that's not good. There we go. There. The edges of the trees have kind of disappeared a bit. Now here, I think those edges need to be a slightly darker colour. So I'm going to go in with this a bit more. As I say, I'm not too worried about shapes, because the shapes of the shape of the outer part of the tree, because the sky holes will take care of that. Now I need my pale green, because we'll get some little pale greens just clicked in there. And one or two here, because that's where the sun is shining down. And there's one or two here that, ooh, nasty mark. If you do a nasty mark like that you don't really want, just sort of smooth it over a little bit. put some sky in there, wiping my fingers as I go. So the sky sort of comes in here a little bit. Now I'm not standing very close to my painting because I don't want it to be photographic, and if it was, I'd be like this, you know, putting in every tiny little mark. Don't want that. I want it to look quite loose, and I think when you get up and you come and stand right close to it, you'll see that in fact there isn't much detail in it at all. There's only a bit. Again, I'm just fudging these edges in a little bit. They don't have to be exact either. There's not really many sky holes in this tree, but just so that it doesn't feel left out, we'll put in a couple. And then we'll get down to the interesting subject of the water. Now, I'm not going to fill in the sky because it's a lot of blue and it can get quite tedious. If you're watching me. So I'll do it when you're not looking. I'll tell you what I have just noticed though, is this dreadful patch of green there, which is not good at all. I think I need to get these darks in up there, like that, and join that dark up there. It's a little bit more dark there, just because it looks a wee bit artificial. And if I put a sky hole in somewhere, like there for instance, joining up with that one, that should work. Okay. And there's more sky holes there because actually that's almost more sky than thing. Right, so I'm not going to use my Terry Ludwig for that. I'm going to use a nice pale unison. I'll start off by doing that, and then just smooth in there. Now, every time you go in over the green, just wipe your pastel. I'm going to put another thingamabob, a couple of drawing pins in to hold that flat. Because that's just catching my pastel. Right, so yeah, as I was saying, every time you go like that, wipe your pastel. should start to look a little bit more like reflections. And I'm going to come in a little bit here with some little thin marks. Like that. Now again, when you come up close, you'll see that there's no way that these are exact, but they work. I'm just going to go outside and make sure that I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I think so. Now here, I'm just going to take a careful butterfly line across there. And I'm going to do the same across there. Now, unfortunately, between the end of that one and as far as I've got now, it just stopped recording. I'm not quite sure why the screen went blank and everything. So I don't know if it's actually recording now, but we'll carry on bravely regardless. So I'm thinking about reflections now. Just trying to make this bit more realistic. Just carve that in a little bit. Now, quite a good thing to do is something like that, and then put little tiny, well, they should be dead straight, light marks in where it's dark. And then, oh, this needs quite a bit of work around here. Sometimes it's when you're doing something else that you see where you need to put extra work. However, what I was saying is light marks in the dark bit, and then darker marks in this bit. And it looks as if sometimes it just looks as if a little fly or something has landed on the water. Not always. Just sometimes it makes it look more realistic. Now, I'm not very happy about this bit here, so I'll just do a wee bit more to that. What sort of colour is that? That's more of a pinky colour. Put that in down here, I think. Now, it was up there that I felt needed some more work done. I'll put different colours in it so that it's not all exactly the same. I think it should be quite dark. Slightly darker over the top, like that maybe. And then maybe some dark spots here. Not quite as much as that. I'll make that look like a reflection. Blend it in a bit. Now I think I need it slightly darker down there and slightly darker there. And whenever I'm doing these bits, I pull it down to help with the idea of a reflection, and then maybe just a touch more under this bit. This passage here is meant to look as if the the water has just been ruffled by a bit of a breeze. A bit like that. And then I would like a slightly paler green, maybe a bit more like this. And I'm going to just work on that a little bit more. Take that down there. And maybe we'll bring it here. I'll use this edge. Something like that. Now this is incorrect there should be more green coming down, but I'm aware that that can be quite a dodgy business. But I'm going to try, in the interests of science. If I put some of the same colour elsewhere, it won't look quite so much as if it was done afterwards. And then I still have to bring in some pale blue. I think it was this one. So I can't ignore the reflections. Otherwise it just doesn't look as if it's right. It's a bit better as far as reflections are concerned, but I'm not particularly happy with it. However, there we go. And I'll just do that because that's where my tree finishes. I think that's about it. Now, in my in my working drawing, which was here, so you can see it. I divided my thirds, and I'd got my, that's the halfway line, but I'd got my horizon line being about there. But my point of focus I wanted to be here, which is there. And at the moment, and a little one there, and at the moment there's nothing to actually take your eye immediately there. So I'm going to put something in that will do that, and I'm going to put in a nice subtle red. I'm not sure what it will be, but it will be a something. Possibly it's a couple of people, and there's another one there. And they should bring the eye in. If I give them a touch of light as well, then that could be, hair's in the way. Something like that. I think I'm going to call that Dunn or Gordon or something. So that's it. I've really, this has not been terribly good, but I've done it for you, Mo, so that well, I hope it does something. I hope it's of some use to you. See that shape there? That's not good. Smear that over a bit. But I hope that maybe you can see what I've been kind of driving at. Maybe not, I don't know. Well, anyway, that's it. So I hope it's been of some use. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that sort of thing would be useful to you. And if it is, whenever I've got to practice doing something, then I'll film it for you, because I think I've more or less got this sorted now. And unless, I mean, what you need to do is to say to me, oh, well, I can see your head too much, or it's not very clear, or something. You know, I need some help with that. But yeah, so that would be really useful for me. Okay, bye for now.